from the Post-Millennial. Biden moves to give mass amnesty to paroled illegal immigrants married to U.S. citizens. The plan the White House has put forward would give work permits, deportation protections, and other privileges to immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens and have been paroled in the U.S. Okay, look, we get it. Okay, they are flooding this country intentionally. Joe Biden's pretending like he's trying to stop it, but he's not. And it's because the average person is stupid. That's unfortunate. Or I should say the average person is average, but half the country is stupider than that. And so Joe Biden says, I'm trying to, come on, man, we'll secure the border. And then people are just like, well, Joe Biden's trying to secure the border. And he's not. His executive order basically said, we will allow 1.5 million illegal immigrants to illegally enter the country. That's what his order was. Right now, a single illegal immigrant walking across the border is a crime.
Yeah.
Committed a crime, you get caught, you get arrested, you go home. Joe Biden's like, look at this 5 million. We're gonna cut that number down to 1.5. It's basically the trick.
Yeah.
Right. It's like he's gotten everyone convinced that going down to 1.5 million illegal immigrants is a good thing. He allows the mass invasion at the southern border that even Sharpton and other Democrats have called an invasion. Then once it gets so bad, he pushes it back only a little bit and says, see, look how good I've done.
It's crazy.
Fall for it.
He's like, I can't secure this country's border. In fact, I refuse to. But you should vote for me again because I'll only let 1.5 million people come in. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And he is claiming that this is how he's going to fix this problem.
But he's saying he secured it. He's going, with my executive order, we've cut that number down by 70 or 80% after we increased it by 500.
Yeah, exactly. It's still an invasion, and it's all because of. I don't think it's voting. Everyone, I think that's a common talking point. Is this is so that they'll vote for him? I don't think it's for that. I think it's ultimately just about demographics for the next census. I mean, you look at 2000, 2010, 2020. What's losing electoral votes are all the blue states, right? California, New York has lost, I think, 6. Pennsylvania has lost, and those are blue strongholds. And what's gaining is Florida, Texas, Tennessee, all the red states. And so to change that, I mean, Chicago, Illinois is not going to be as powerful. New York isn't as powerful anymore. New York used to be second. Now I think New York is third behind Florida. California lost in the last election. So if you can bolster, because illegals do count in the census, if by 2030 California's got 5 more people and Illinois has 6 million more people and New York has 3 million more, well, now they get their electoral votes back and they have to take them from somewhere. They'll take them from Wyoming. They'll take them from one from Colorado. They'll take one, et cetera, et cetera. And now the blue states are powerful again.
It's crazy because they wouldn't let them ask about citizenship on the census.
You're not allowed to. Yeah, illegals count towards the census, which is absurd.
It's crazy.
So back to Ian's point from the previous segment about the age of barbarism. We're experiencing similar. I don't know how similar because, of course, I was not alive during the Roman Empire, but people from outside of the United States flooding in massive numbers. And then we're getting a president who wants to grant them amnesty. And that only goes in one direction. What's fascinating is Social Security is going to be insolvent in about 7 years, or it's going to begin to destabilize in about 7. And then in about 13, they say it will be done. Unless something dramatic happens. They always try and find some way to squeeze more blood from the turnip. The idea here, possibly, is that they're trying to bring as many people as possible to sustain the tax base required. Because people aren't having kids, there's going to be a huge problem. There's not enough people in the younger generation to sustain the older generation. And the next generation may actually be smaller than the one before it. That means there's going to be more old people with more requirements and young people who can't pay the bill. You bring in 5, 10 million, 20, 30, because if they're doing 1.5 million per year, they're trying to maintain that tax base, hoping they can tax these people, make enough money to sustain the system. You are going to end up with, very similarly to what happened in the Roman Empire, with the mass citizenship of all these non-citizens, and then your country just rips apart, split in half, and then fights each other.